Have you ever met someone who watched 3 finance videos on TikTok and suddenly started explaining investing to Warren Buffett, or someone who learned Photoshop for 2 days and immediately launched a course called The Secrets of Professional Design? Maybe you've seen that friend who has been going to the gym for a month, whose arms are still thinner than a phone charger cable, but somehow talks like he's preparing for Mr. Olympia. If any of that sounds familiar, congratulations. You've encountered one of the most famous psychological phenomena ever studied, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Or, in simpler terms, the less you know, the more convinced you are that you know everything. It's basically a built-in feature of the human brain. No updates required, no subscription needed, no premium version. Back in 1999, psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger discovered something surprisingly funny. The people who performed the worst on certain tests were often the ones who rated their own abilities the highest. Meanwhile, the people who performed well frequently underestimated themselves. At first, that sounds completely backward, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. To recognize where you're making mistakes, you need enough knowledge to identify those mistakes in the first place. And that's the twist. Imagine you've been learning guitar for 3 days. You can play a C chord, maybe a G chord. You can struggle through 7 seconds of Happy Birthday. Your brain immediately starts whispering, "Wow, I might actually be talented." Then you watch a professional guitarist. They're playing fingerstyle, jazz, improvisation, advanced music theory, techniques you've never even heard of. Suddenly you realize, oh, I haven't even entered the game yet. That's the moment your knowledge increases and your confidence drops. People often describe this phenomenon with a simple graph. The horizontal axis represents knowledge. The vertical axis represents confidence. At the beginning, when you learn a tiny amount, confidence shoots upward like a rocket. Your brain says, I get it now. I figured it out. I could debate experts on this. Then you learn more. Confidence crashes. Hard. Because for the first time, you're seeing how enormous the subject actually is. As you continue learning, confidence slowly climbs back up. But this time, it's different. It's not built on illusion. It's built on experience. Sounds funny, but this creates real problems in everyday life. During the COVID era, for example, some people read a few Facebook posts, watched a couple of YouTube videos, and suddenly felt qualified to challenge medical professionals. Some even conducted vaccine research by reading comment sections. Yes, comment sections. The place where anime profile pictures and random usernames debate immunology with complete confidence. Truly, one of humanity's greatest scientific institutions. The same thing happens in investing. A beginner makes 3 successful trades in a row and instantly decides they're a financial genius. They borrow more money, increase leverage, go all in. Then the market does what the market loves doing most, teaching expensive lessons. You can see it in online arguments too. Have you noticed that people who deeply understand a topic often say things like, maybe it depends, or I'm not entirely sure? Meanwhile, people who only understand the basics tend to say things like, absolutely, 100%, or anyone who disagrees is an idiot. Sound familiar? That's because people who know very little often see answers. People who know a lot see questions. The interesting part is that the Dunning-Kruger effect doesn't only apply to other people. It applies to everyone, including me, including you, especially the person currently thinking, I definitely don't have this problem. That person should probably be worried. There's also a common misunderstanding. Many people think the Dunning-Kruger effect means that incompetent people are always more confident than experts. That's not actually what the research says. The original finding was that people with lower skill levels tend to overestimate their abilities more than highly skilled people do. The issue isn't confidence itself. The issue is the gap between confidence and actual competence. So how do you avoid falling into this trap? It's surprisingly simple. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, this is easy, dig one layer deeper, then another, then another. Usually it only takes a few minutes before your brain transitions from I am a genius to, oh, I've only read the introduction. Truly intelligent people aren't the ones who are always right. They're usually the ones who understand they could be wrong. It doesn't sound very impressive, but that's exactly what allows them to keep improving. Meanwhile, many others are busy defending their ego like it's the final boss in a video game. So the next time you meet someone who's extremely confident about a complicated subject, don't immediately assume they're an expert. They may have simply watched their second video on the topic and arrived at the highest peak of human knowledge. That peak has a name. I know enough to think I know everything. It's a very crowded place. And the scary part, every single one of us has lived there at least once. So, here's the final question. Which area of life do you think has the most Dunning-Kruger experts today?